are singing, skies are blue. The world's awake, it's time for you. Start it right, you know it's true. Anson in the morning.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Anson in the morning. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time on a Monday, which means it's time for this. Anson in the morning. Here we are. So I'm a little out of sorts today, if you guys haven't already guessed. My microphone is gone. My mic broke. It's not working, so I'm having to use the laptop mic, and it's less than optimal. And I also, working in radio for so many years, I'm used to hearing myself in the monitor, so I feel like I'm flying blind today. So just bear with me while I deal with it. This shit that I hate is when the stuff you need breaks, and then you start thinking, "Good morning, Mr. GB. How you doing, buddy?" And then you start thinking about more about the things you hate. Okay, this broke, or I've got to do this week, or my kid needs this now. I mean, again. And then the other night I was lying in bed and I was like, what am I going to talk about on Anson in the morning on Monday? How about the things that I really hate? Like, we all get annoyed. Like, oh yeah, I've got to take my kid to the dentist for his second filling because he won't brush those back teeth away, just right. So, God damn it, I got to go take him again. Or this or that, or my boss this, or my friends this, or fat and spicy this, or whatever it is. I realize that it's kind of minor. Like, there's not a lot out there that I truly hate. I really had to think about this one. And I went to social media and I sat there and I flipped through the TikToks and the Instagrams and all that shit, just looking for something to hate. And I couldn't. I mean, it annoyed me, some of the stuff, it's like, oh my God, look at my TikTok. And like, yeah, great. We're Disney adults. Watch us go, try to pull the sword for the 150th time. Like, okay, whatever. And it's not even annoying. It's just dumb, So I was like, I really don't get that pissed off at things. Like, my kid's not picking up after themselves. That's something, right? Like, I work hard to clean my house. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go sweep the floors in here. Today, Monday is mop day. So I got to, fabuloso and mop the floors and the kitchen and the bathrooms. I hate the bathrooms. You ask anybody, bathrooms is my least favorite fucking thing to clean. But today's the day to do it because I want to shit in a clean house. I don't know. So, I hate that. I hate cleaning. No, I don't hate cleaning because what I do is I put on another podcast. I drink my coffee. By the way, good morning, guys. I don't mean to start off on like, oh my God, the whole world sucks. No. It's Anson in the morning. It's a beautiful, rainy Monday morning in Crescent City. I've got a nice warm cup of coffee. I lit a cigarette, but we're going to do something a little different today. Just because I know that I'm having a nice long hate, because we are going to talk. I did come up with a double-sided page of things that I fucking hate. I'm going to take a shot. And I don't do it early in the morning, but I just need to get this out of me, and I need to be loose. So we're going to talk a little bit. So, guys, I don't know if I can do this on or off camera. I really don't care. All right. Now, before I start, I have to say, because Jacob will kill me, the views expressed on Anson in the Morning do not necessarily represent PNS Studios. Fair enough. Okay. So after I started thinking about this long and hard, a few things did pop into my mind. And I'm not going to start with what I wanted to start with, which was bullies, because we're going to get there. But this all came from TikTok. I'm laying in bed the other night. I'm scrolling through TikTok, trying to find things to not like. And I'm over sitting on the crapper one day, scrolling through my phone, trying to find things to not like. I'm going through Facebook, looking at people I don't even care about, just trying to find something. And then I realized this is what I hate. It's this fucking click society. I hate this click society. Now, before we get started, hey guys, don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, click the button down below. Every little bit helps, right there it is, right? I hate this. It's nice to have a voice, and it's nice to be out there and doing your thing. But it's all about the likes and the clicks. And if you don't get enough of the clicks, the people don't hear your voice. Now, do I want 20 million subscribers? I'll be honest with you. Shit, no. That would terrify the hell out. Can you imagine me having to prep a show like this for 20 million people? I'd go on terrified every morning. I talked to the biggest views we got on the show so far was 114. Thank you guys very much. And to me, I'm like, holy shit, 114 people listen to me bitch about something or talk about my childhood for an hour. Holy crap, that's amazing. So guys, thank you so much. But apparently, you need to like, click, subscribe, follow to get the word out so that the algorithm picks you up and you get promoted to more people. You need people to leave a comment. You need this. I can't stand it. Can't you just put me out there on a channel of like, here's all the morning shows that we got from 9 to 10, 10 to 11. If you want to watch one, just like NBC, put it on a schedule. People need a fucking schedule. That's something that I do get pissed about is time. I am an on-time motherfucker. If I tell you, and I don't like to swear in the first 10 minutes of the show, why? Because the algorithm won't put me out there. God damn it. Did it again. You got to be on time. It should be like a cable TV network, but it's not. It's on demand. It's click when you want. It's watch what you want. And if you're not cool, if you're not popular enough, you don't get put out there. So you have to beg for the likes, follows, and subscribes. But what really is getting me is not that. Okay, so yeah, that pisses me off. But what I hate are the tricks that people are using to get you to do that. So I have to come up with a catchy title every week. This week is a good long hate. And I'm hating on shit. And we're going to get to the stuff I hate. Trust me, we'll get to the list. But let me get the preamble out. It's this bullshit of like, I was one night I'm lying in bed and I come across on TikTok some guy breaking into a safe. He's like, we found a stack of money in the safe. And I wanted to watch him break it open and see what they got, right? I mean, how cool is that? At the very last second, as he cracks the safe, it goes to the next video. I had to go to the guy's channel, look at the next fucking video to watch him crack it open. And then it was like a 10-second, 20-second, 30-second, whatever it was, a recap of the first video. And then the last bit of it comes at the last second. All these tricks to get you to watch, right? Or I see a lot of recycled news on there. People talking about something that happened 30 years ago, or 30 years ago, 30 weeks ago, 30 months ago, 30 days ago, whatever it is, but recent. And they'll just rehash it with a new background or this or that, or it's somebody else's content. Now, that's another thing that really pisses me off. I don't know if I can mention their name because he's not going to like it. There's a guy who does shitty cartoons. This is what he calls it. Shitty cartoons about my life. I love this guy. And he talks about all the adventures of him as a kid. He's kind of like a 90s kid. He was a little bit younger than me, so I identify with him. And I love to watch his videos. He's funny as hell. He's a great animator. He tells a really good story. He puts a lot of emphasis into shit. I'll put it in the comments later if you guys want to know. But again, I don't want to, if he doesn't want to be affiliated, he doesn't want to be talked about, whatever. Now I'm seeing all these copycat channels. It's his stuff, but it's not the name of his show. There's not the checkpoint or the little world thing or whatever it is to show that it's his official site. It's people grabbing his stuff and cutting off the first half second and last half second and posting it as their own just to get views and clicks and likes. What, for money? Excuse me. Apparently that tequila came back to say, ole. Let's wash it down with some coffee. You get my point though, right? It's like, why steal content? Are you not smart enough? Are you not good enough? I'm waiting for people to put this on their channel and cut off a few segments and then be like, oh, look, Anson.com or whatever the fuck they want to put it as. But it's not Anson in the morning. It's not I didn't approve it. I'm not saying it's happening, but I wouldn't be happy if that happened. And there's a lot of this, guys. So fucking much of this. And it's not just podcasts and shows and stuff. It's also music. Like you'll find Snoop Dogg, guilty pleasure. I love NWA. I love that whole early LA rap scene. I grew up around it, right? And I went to a Christian school, so a lot of the young kids there were like, "Oh, look, this guy's name is Eazy-E, and he's badass, and blah blah blah." You know, it's fucking awesome. But all the music's pirated. It's all on somebody else's shit. You know what I mean? They're all. There's one official site and 500 poser sites. So how do you get around this click media thing? Is it possible? Can you actually overcome the I guess what I want to say is this. I've noticed that the United States and the world goes in trends, right? Um, what was it? Neil Howe, he quoted the term millennial. He said that there's eras, like traditional eras in America. Like from 2008, the year 2008 was more like the year 1929 for us. In 2008, you didn't know anything before 1929. Like right now, um, we know Elvis, right? But barely. So that whole thing's going to shift where you forget about what happened in it. Like if I mention Duke Ellington, maybe 4% of the population of young people know who I'm talking about. And those are the hipsters who like to listen to vinyl because they think it's cool and they got a top knot and they wear skirts. You know, um, it's just the way that it goes. And so is this the next era? Is it just on demand? Because I get myself doing it. I'll watch something that's 3 minutes long. I'll watch it for a minute and a half, and I'm like, I get the gist. Move on to the next. So I'm 48. I grew up before this. Where did my attention span go? Was I robbed by this? Did it just yank me into the new millennia because I have a smartphone and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and shit? Am I one of the clickers now? Is that what we're gonna the clickers? That's what we're gonna call this generation, like Generation X, Y, whatever, the boomers. This is the clickers or the swipers. That's what it should be, the swipers. It gets to me because it's like, okay, so the other day I was watching a video and it says cops get owned by FBI agents. So they walk up to this black guy, and they grab him and they're like, you're the guy we're looking. And this is the TikTok video, so I'm not whatever. They walk up to this black guy, you're the guy we're looking for. They grab him by the wrist, they pull him up. He's like, I swear I'm not the guy you're looking for. And they arrest him. No, they don't arrest him. They put him in cuffs and they're patting him down. They grab his ID and he's like, oh, look, look, look. What's that say? He was an FBI agent. Now, every single fucking video on the goddamn internet is cops arrest an FBI agent. Cops arrest sheriff's son and didn't realize it. Busted. Cops this and are busted. Cops that and are busted. And none of it is that. It's a fucking simple traffic stop where the dude that got pulled over was in the wrong, that had no affiliation with the sheriff, judge, cop, wasn't an FBI agent. It's all bullshit to get you to click it. And this is the stuff. Can we not have false advertising rules now, FCC, over the internet? Can't you make this shit up? Go, you do everything else. You shut down public broadcasting. So can't you make rules about what you put on TikTok? God, I sound like fucking Alex Jones or any of those fucking, God damn it. Mega dittos, my friends. We should FCC regulate the internet. I'm so sorry. That was my bad Rush Limbaugh. I will never do that again. So that was my little rant on the internet shit, because that's something that I don't like, is this new click society. If I wanted to watch something back in the day, which was this video called Angry Kid, which was a regular dude with regular hands, but a claymation head. Remember, he just had this, the first video was him smelling his finger. He's like, then he looks at the camera and he's like, stinky. I could go to adamfilms.com, type in fucking Angry Kid, and there was a bunch of his fucking videos. And not one of them had an ad or a click here to make your penis bigger or put a tracker on my computer. It was just the plain old internet. Now I sound like an old fogey, right? Oh my God, I don't want to go to the new fucking way of life with the internet. Blah, 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 whatever. It's no different than the phone. I get 30 calls a day from Valencia, California, which is nobody I know. But it happens to have the same area code as Crescent City, 707. And they all think they're tricking me. Motherfuckers. It's all ads. Ads. Now, back in the day, there was a rule, right, on TV. Some of you young whippersnappers don't remember, but when you turned on to like TGI Friday on ABC to watch Urkel invent the latest fucking thing, you had 22 minutes of show, 8 minutes of commercials. And I think it was actually 7 minutes in commercials because you had the ABC stuff at the beginning, the station identifiers at the end. And then a plug for your local news at 11. Now, there ain't nothing like that. It's all over. There's no schedules. That's why, dude, I am on time with this show. If I tell you I want to be on here Monday morning at 9 a.m., you bet your fucking ass that you can tune in Pacific time. You can tune in at 9 a.m. and get the fucking show. Because I grew up with that time thing. And that's another thing, dude. People that aren't on time, I will kill you. Be the fuck on time. If I ask you to be here at 3 for a job interview, you goddamn be there at 2:48. 2:45 fucking whatever. 2:48. You pulled in at 2:45. You're in the building at 2:48. It shows me that you give a shit about your job. You give a shit about who you represent yourself to be. And you give a shit about the opportunity that I'm giving you because you're coming to me for a job. So goddamn be on time. Make me impressed because I'm the guy you need to impress. Show the fuck up. And when it's the end of your shift, my shift, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you pull in at 2:59 p.m., dude, I'll murder your children. I'm sorry. I can't say that shit on YouTube. Guys, please understand that I'm euphemizing. I don't know. I just get pissed because nobody has any consideration for each other, whether it's in the office, whether it's on the streets. We're going to talk about that shit. I got it on the list. Or whether it's in your personal life. Nobody gives a shit about your time. Well, I do. And I feel like I'm the only one. So let's get into like the lists, okay? Because I got the Click Society. We're good to go. Let's really move on. First and foremost, I don't like bullies. I just don't, dude. Like, I don't get the point of bullying. I don't get the point of having to be, and I'm talking young bullies, kid bullies, because I had my fair share of fucking bullies through school. Every first, second, third grade were pretty cool. Fourth grade, there was kind of a division of like, there were these kids and there were those kids. It wasn't until sixth grade that you really realized that there was some hate going on. And it wasn't good-natured ribbing. Like I told you in the last episode, I had a kid fucking throw a basketball at my nose. Maybe that's why it's flat right now. Is because I told him that, I'm not a great basketball player, but I don't appreciate all this, not putting me in the thing and include me in this and that. And they went and he's fucking hit me in the nose with the thing. Why? Why do you got to be violent? Now I understand sixth grade kids. My kids are in seventh grade, and I'm kind of proud. My kids are kind of the cool kids, right? Like my son wants the Nikes. My son wants this and that. He had a little girlfriend in sixth grade. He bought her a little teddy bear for Valentine's Day. She carried it around all fucking week. I mean, it was cute, right? And I think that's great. I didn't have that kind of. I had a little girlfriend in sixth grade. What grade was that? Yeah, it was sixth grade. No, fifth grade. But it was what it was. It was puppy love when you're a kid. You're first experiencing those things in your brain that are like, what the fuck am I doing? But the bullies, dude, sixth grade seemed to be like the turning point. Now, my kid had one bully. Let me tell you this story real quick. I'm so proud of my son. So one thing I've always taught my kids is you don't have to fight, dude. Now, I will talk about this probably not next week, but the week after. In order to get by, I did some security guard work and I wanted to be a cop. And I'll tell you all the reasons for that. I promise you. And some of this bully stuff goes into that. But one thing I did a lot of was I took a lot of self-defense classes. And I learned a few things, which I've taught to my children. But I pulled the Mr. Miyagi. I said, why am I teaching you this stuff? Why am I teaching you how to do this? And my son didn't even pull this so I can kick ass. He goes, so I don't have to fucking ever have to fight. I taught him right, So one thing I taught him was the back. If somebody grabs you from the back, all you have to do is step back, put your weight in, toss them over. It's a judo move. So very simple. He gets into this thing at school where this kid grabbed him behind the back because he was jealous that David had a little girlfriend. And this kid walks up and grabs him by the shoulder. And we're like, hey, David grabbed this kid by the shoulder, did one step back, a perfect flip over, judo flip, and turned around and walked away. And the kid came back again. So David did the leg sweep where like put his leg behind, put his leg, I'm doing it myself, put his leg behind the kid's leg and just kind of pushed him over and then turned around and walked away. At this point, a teacher comes in and intervenes like, hey, you two need to stop. Well, David is going to get in trouble for fighting until one student had it on his phone and showed the teacher. And the teacher's like, oh, the kid tried to walk away. I couldn't believe it. I was so proud of this kid. I wish I would have known how to do that back in the day. Was defend myself and walk away. Because what he did was he disarmed this bully 110%. He completely took the fight out of the equation. He said, we don't need to fight. I can beat the shit out of you, but I'm going that way because, Jesus, turn the other cheek, right? Pretty cool. I was very proud of my son that day. I saw some of the video, I saw him, and I was thrilled, man. Like, that's my good boy. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to defend myself. So what I did was I withdrew. I had bullies from 6th grade on, I don't know if it was because I had the gay parents. And I'm not, listen, you're going to hear me talk about my gay parents a lot, and I'm going to do one whole episode on them, but I've got to craft that one right because it had its ups and it had its downs. And to be perfectly honest, I want to talk to you guys about that. I want to be honest. That's what Anson in the Morning is about, is me sharing my feelings. I don't care if the fuck who watches. I'm just putting it out there for maybe posterity. Maybe my great-great-grandchildren wonder what Anson was like. Well, here I am. But maybe it was because I had gay parents and I had to lie about it all the time. My parents had a fair share of money, so I was dressed in the newest clothes. I had the Nike Air One, the red ones with the bubble, remember, on the heel, before anybody else did. There were $300 fucking shoes. And I'm in the 5th fucking grade with these things on. What 5th grader wears $300 shoes? Well, in the private school I went to, a couple of us. But was that why I was picked on? Because I had the coolest shit? I mean, you ask Mr. Greenville or Mr. GB or any of the people that I grew up with. I was the kid to be envied. My parents had the van with the TV in it, and I had this beautiful, gorgeous house that was very cold, and you couldn't touch anything, like Cameron Fry and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How many friends was I allowed to have over to my house? One every now and then. Maybe if it was supervised by them so that they didn't touch and break anything. And when it came to going out after school, I come home from school and my housekeeper, Chris, which we're going to talk about her. I think we talked about Chris a little bit, Christine. She was an old African American lady that was like my mother. I loved her to death. We're going to have a serious talk about her soon because she taught me a lot. But she was home and I'd come home. She'd pick me up from school in a taxi. Maybe they made fun of me because of that. Or my parents were landscapers. But it made them so much money because they were good at it. And the kids at school said, oh, Anson's getting picked up in the leaf truck because one day it was packed with leaves because they made fucking, $2,800 trimming a huge fucking hedge in Lake Oswego. These kids don't know that. They see dirty fucking jeans on my parents and their fucking plaid shirts and they're all sweaty in a dirty truck. Maybe that's why. I don't know why I was made fun of. Maybe it was because I didn't get to go out and play with my friends after school, that I wasn't well adjusted and have the mental whatevers. That's something I've made sure for my kids, is that my kids are well adjusted. They get to go out and play with their friend. Dad, we want to go to the dance tomorrow night. You're on your fucking way. The high school's just down the road from us. We want to go see our friend play his football game tonight. We can walk. We just need $5. Fucking here you go. Here you go. Go to the football game. Go see your friends. Go have a good time. My social activities growing up was I was on the basketball team. And I really think the only reason they let me be on the basketball team was because A, they didn't have to pick me up till later because they were busy working. And B, I was a chubby kid. So maybe it would work off some of this fat. I'm still not thin, but I eat a lot. I'm not fat, guys. I'm really not fat. I've got man boobs and I've got a belly, but I'm not, I'm not 900 pounds. I was a chunky kid. What are you going to do? We ate well. Dad was making pot roasts and pork chops and potatoes and pastas and whatever every fucking night. Of course, I'm a chunky kid. I was a happy kid because I was fed well. TB, you're not fat, you're thick. Exactly. See, this is why I took the shot of tequila. My throat's already getting thick from from fucking getting worked up. I'm sorry. Hold on. So the bullying thing kind of continued until high school. And then it like almost miraculously, no, that's not true. Freshman year, because I think there was some leftover eighth grade bullying going on by these kids, they carried it over. But by the time I hit sophomore, junior, and senior year, it really wasn't quite so bad. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, what happened? And it was that everybody got preoccupied. Bullying really wasn't on everybody's forefront. There was sports, there was after school programs, there was girls. There was the internet was just coming out at that time. There was people passing around VCR tapes and getting the LA Gear hair gel to, do the thing. What did I say that? No, I didn't do that. Whatever. You know what I mean, though? We were all preoccupied. We had our own things going on. We had friends now. We had cars. We had jobs. There was no time to bully, at least where I went to school. So it was, I'm not saying it wasn't there. There was the looking down upon because some people's parents were super rich there. My parents had a good amount of money, but they weren't hyper rich. And then you had legacy kids that went there because their parents worked there or were fucking pastors or whatnot. And they were upper echelon, of the school because it was a Christian school connected to a church. And of course, the pastor's kids go there. So, of course, they're fucking cock of the walk. And we're kind of, especially me, the heathen who didn't learn his Bible verses and who worked at a radio station who was too cool for school. Where's my fucking sunglasses? It's a fat and spicy show. You know what I mean? There was that. And I think some of that led to it, but it wasn't a bullying. It was just more of a condescension. And I never knew how to overcome that. But by senior year, I really didn't care. I had my friend, GB's right here in the chat. Dude, I'm 48 years old, dude. And I met him when I was 17. You know what? Well, how many years is that? 30, 20 years, 21 years, whatever. It's fucking amazing. So that occupied my time and stealing my answer keys from the teacher with the paces that we talked about last week in school. I mean, that occupied my time and I was working. I had a job at Subway. I was working at the radio station. I was working with my parents. I was trying to do this and this and this and that. And, I had a new girlfriend, Amy, at the time. So, I'm concentrated on boning her. So the bullying thing kind of settled down and I didn't really worry about it too much. And then as I got into the workforce, it kind of went away because I realized, oh shit, it doesn't matter. There are no bullies. I mean, there are bullies in the workforce, but if I just kind of blend in and play the game, which we're going to talk about playing the game in just a second, my friends, then you can kind of make it by. And I went to acting school my whole life. I even went to the Portland Actors Conservatory, which is a great acting school in Portland, Oregon. It took place at the Firehouse Theater up there. I think they recently closed. It's a shame. It was a great school. I learned how to blend in. I learned how to read people. And because of what we're going to talk about in another episode, I learned how to defend myself mentally. I knew how to, okay, this person wants me to be this. I'm going to chameleon. This person wants me to be this. I'm going to chameleon. And that became my way of life, is like molding into the person I wanted to be. As a young actor, there was a TV show that I was on called Nowhere Man, where he could just kind of morph into any role. One episode, he was a doctor. The next episode, he was a flight tower control person. I can do that. I can be who you want me to be. I'll learn what you show me quick. As long as there's a checklist, I'll get it done. And I think that came from the bullying in school, and I didn't want that to happen in my professional life. So I became everybody's buddy, actually, as I went through my working life. And I want to say that I have a lot of work friends now because I've learned how to stop being fake and be me at work, in the professional life, in the public setting. Now, don't get me wrong. I would rather be stuck here at PNS Studios 1 all fucking day than go out to the gas station to get me a case of beer. I don't want to go out. What do you call that? Agoraphobia? Not really, but maybe a touch. I don't want to go out there. But when I do go out there, I promise you, I'm going to be the most charming motherfucker you've ever met. I'm going to ask you how you've been. I'm going to be interested in what your stories. I listen. That's one thing I do love, is to listen. So I get that. So you can't be agoraphobic and love to listen to people in the same breath. It just kind of doesn't work. But It works for me and I love it. I love people watching. It's just something I do. That was one thing, man, working at the bar as a cook. So many people you get to watch, so many personalities come in and out and characters. And you learn things about people you'd never guess. I'm out there the other day, yesterday. It's no secret that I smoke pot. My eyes are probably red right now. They are. They are red. Um, and I'm out at the pot shop the other day here in California, and I see some dude that I'm like, the fuck? I didn't say it to him. I didn't even give him the look. But in my brain, I'm like, oh shit, you smoke weed? Who fucking knew? You learn things about people. And it wasn't a bad thing. I was actually thrilled to know that because I'm like, oh fuck, he smokes pot. That explains a few things. Not bad. But like why he's got a chill demeanor, why things don't get to him, maybe, because he chiefs a little bit of the ganja. That Indo. But I just can't stand the bullies. The bullies have no. I mean, what's the point of being a bully? Did something happen to you that you have to step up and be mean? Because I went to do the security thing, and yeah, it's here somewhere. Where is it? I don't know where it went. I'll find it for the next episode. I've got my bounty hunter badge over here. I was a fugitive recovery agent. That's what we called ourselves, not bounty hunters. But I did it. I wasn't great at it, but I did it. And I did security work and I got my arms certification and I did all the shit that made me a big badass with, at one point I was head of security over at the Greyhound station in Portland. That was a fun job. Got to put people in handcuffs and frisk them down. I'll tell you the truth, guys. You want to hear a quick story? The statute of limitations has got to be well by. So I don't know if I'm sure it's a crime, but here you go. One night, I'm doing my job and we had just had a rash. It was right around the year 2000, maybe 2000. Yeah, it was about 2000. Damn it. Sorry. A mouthful of coffee grounds in that one. My bad. Good thing I have a cup on standby. You like my heart cup? This is my wife's, but it holds a lot of coffee, so I drink. All right. We had a rash of these Greyhound bus drivers getting stabbed. So what they did was they put security there, like big time security, like 4 officers at a time. And we'd randomly wand buses. And I mean like the metal detector, beep, beep, put your arms out, beep, beep. Let me see your ticket, make sure it's the right gate and time, search their baggage for anything, sharp or whatever, send them on their way. Dude, this place was a mecca of contraband. Now, I'll be honest, I never found, well, one time, but we'll get to that. We just find Picayune shit, like you couldn't bring booze on the bus. So it'd be confiscated. But what am I going to fucking do with it? Throw it in the garbage? Shit, no. One night, we're wanting this guy, and I open his bag, and there's 2 bottles of imported Cuervo, all in Mexican Spanish, all of it in Mexican in Spanish with the seal on the top, the import seal and everything. Like it was just over the border, and he was bringing it up to God knows where. But you can't have that shit on the bus. So I went home, and I opened my backpack, and I pulled out 1 bottle, and then I pulled out 2 bottles. And I had tequila. I wasn't a big drinker. I mean, I was a drinker, but I wasn't like a passionate guzzler. That lasted me for quite some time. And it was a fun thing to have in your liquor cabinet was, a bottle of real Spanish tequila from Mexico. It was kind of cool. One day we're wandering, and we got our fair share of weapons and kick people off and whatnot. And people that came on drunk, we'd get them out of there. One day I'm searching this guy, and we're patting him down. And as we start patting him down, I hear something crunchy in his pockets. And I pull out a fucking ounce of weed. And I hear another cry. I pull out another one. At that point, I'm like, let's go into the office. Pull the blinds. He's in handcuffs. I got my other officer there. We pull out 8 pounds, 16 1-ounce bags of weed. Now, this guy was crying. And I mean like the snot coming out of your nose, you're like unshakably baby crying. You know what I mean? I genuinely felt bad for this dude. Again, I'm in a position of authority, and I'm not going to, give this guy, hey, you're a piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah. What's the point? He's in handcuffs. He's crying his eyes out. Like, I cried like that maybe 3 times in my life. And I told him, I was like, all right, man, here's the deal. You're going to get on that bus and you're going to go to where you're going, but you're never coming back through Portland Greyhound again. Do you understand me? He goes, yeah, I understand. I'm like, this is getting confiscated and I'm calling the cops. You understand? Yeah, I understand. Get the fuck out of here. I swear I tried to do the right thing. I called the Portland Police Department. I was like, I have a lot of weed here that we pulled off of a guy at the Greyhound station. Come pick it up. I waited a fucking week for that shit in my office desk under lock and key before they even gave me a phone call. And they're like, do you still have it? I'm like, well, I waited so long, I destroyed it. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I fucking lied. I took home a pound of weed, and that's when I got into pot. I shit you not. That's when I started smoking weed. It was there. I started smoking it. I had a girlfriend at the time. She's like, you could sell this and make some money. I ended up smoking most of it or giving it away. I made a few bucks here and there, but it was whatever. The point of the fact is that I don't know what even working in a law enforcement whatever capacity like that, I wasn't even a bully. Because I could have been the hard ass cop. You're fucking going to jail for the rest of your life, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Just couldn't. I would never make a good cop. All right, that brings us to the next point. Cops. I fucking love the police. I love the police so much that I role play a cop in GTA 5 role play 5M servers. I'm a detective. I've been one for a while. And I'm the most straight-laced, fucking by the rules, hard-nosed detective you'll ever meet. What I don't like are these cops that now we're going back to the TikTok thing, right? Because this is all coming from TikTok. I don't like these fucking cops that they're planning things on people. I saw a thing where a cop was planning, and it's the minority. So don't get me wrong. I'm not hating the cops. I'm not fuck the police. No, not at all. God damn it. Those people need to be out there, and I wanted to be one of them, and I'm not, but I still support them. What I don't like is when they abuse that power. When you follow a guy, like I saw on TikTok, this guy filed a lawsuit against the police because they were harassing him. So one night he's driving and he's got 45 minutes straight footage of them following him around the town, waiting to pull him over for something. Finally, it was, you didn't signal 200 feet from the stop sign. And they pulled him out on a felony stop. And they all knew it. Because when they're talking about him, the first thing they all do is mute their body cams. Why would you do that? Why? Leave them on. You got something to hide? You know you're talking shit about this guy. Now, I know I'm wrong. I know blah, blah, blah. Some of you guys are out there. Well, he shouldn't have blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Fine. But I see it a lot. I got followed one day for no fucking... I had tags. I had insurance. I've never done anything wrong in this town. In fact, I'm an upstanding member. A lot of people know me from either driving taxi and giving away free rides to people that couldn't afford them. Again, I'm a nice guy, helping people out. That's why people love me. Or from me working in these kitchens, making the best food and being the friendliest, most genteel fucking host I could be. How you guys doing? Is there anything I can do for you guys? I'm so happy you enjoyed my food today. Please come back and, hey, let your friends know, I mean, that's me. I'm a sweetheart. But I'm driving taxi one day and I pull out from the cab stand in my car, drive all the fucking way up to my house, which is what? A good 2.5 miles. And that's a small town. So what do you say? But in a small town, that's all. He followed me. He followed me all the way to my house. Every stop, every turn, all the way till I pulled into my driveway. And then he kept going and turned down a street that he had no business going down because there's nothing ever happening down there. Why would you do that to me? What are you looking for? What do you want? If I had any fucking scrotes on me, I would have fucking pulled over and been like, what, motherfucker, what? What do you need me for? Why are you behind me until I get to my goddamn house? What? Just fucking tell me and I'll give it to you. See? gets me so hard that these cops have this mentality that, hey, I was either bullied in school or I was the bully and I still want to do it. Some of them, not all of them. Look, I wanted to maintain the better good. I wanted to help the kids that were like me, that were kind of put down, that were kind of, marginalized or kicked to the curb sometimes, not by my folks, but you know what I mean? I wanted to stand up for the underdog. I really, really, really did. That's all I wanted. These guys got to fuck, not all of them, I'm saying, they don't. There's great cops out there. I know a lot of them. My wife's worked with some sweethearts that give a fuck about their job. We have cops in this town that work really, really hard. But we also, from what I've been told, are a rookie training town. So if you come out of the academy, you come here. If you come here, when you move to another department, you get a nice promotion. So a lot of them like to come here. Well, these rookie cops aren't street smart. They just want to pull a gun. They want to be the cop on TV, and that's the stuff that gets it. I saw one of the on TikTok again. Okay, let's go to that. I'm seeing a lot of skits now where I watched some guy get pulled over for something or other, and the cops gave him a stupid hard time for nothing. And I got kind of upset. I'm like, these motherfucking cops. 3 videos later, it was reversed. The cop was the victim, and the victim was the cop in uniform hassling the victim, because you could tell by the voice, you could tell by the everything. And I'm just like, and then you go to another one, and it's the same group of actors. So people online are putting these things out to make the police look bad. Look at what the fucking cops are doing. They're harassing this guy. They're all skits now. No real fucking video, no real nothing. Guys, fucking stop it. If it's not fucking real, do you need clicks that bad? Do you need to validate yourself so fucking much that you fake everything out there, including you, CNN? I'm looking at you, fucking Wolf Blitzer. Breaking news. Coca-Cola announces they're using real sugar in some of their markets. Oh my God. Who gives why is that breaking news? Everything's breaking news. Everything's an emergency. Everything's so politicized. Everything is politicized. Everything. If the cop pulls me over and he's a piece of shit, he must be MAGA. Right? If a Karen gets in my face at Starbucks because she doesn't like the cut of my jib, she must be a Karen. And she must be a Republican. How do you know? How do you know she didn't have a pissed off day because her husband smacked her across the face before she left and said 2 creams and a sugar, bitch? And she's got to come to Starbucks and deal with your ass. I don't know. That's still no excuse. But you get what I'm saying. You don't know where people are coming from. And we all fucking hate each other because of it. Dude, working in this bar, I've seen this so much. I saw a guy that I knew that I worked with. Sweetheart of a guy. I'm not going to say any names because I live in a small town and that's just not going to happen. But sweetheart of a dude that I worked with. And we had he worked with me. He was a coworker. And then we had a customer. And one day this customer is talking about Donald Trump. And my friend, who is a very outspoken person about his beliefs and his views, and I love that about him. I'm not quite that outspoken in public, but he the fuck is. God bless you, sir. You are the hero that we deserve and need. You're Bo. He starts defending the Democrats a little bit. Well, this, and he's having a spirited debate. And this guy looks at him and says, wow, I really thought different of you. And that was the last I think they ever spoke. Now, whether you're on the left or the right, this happens. Oh my God, you support fucking Trump? You're off my friends list. You went to a Trump rally? I will never speak to you. You can never come to Christmas. You're not family anymore. Go fuck yourselves, guys. When I was a kid, politics was amazing. Now, as an only child, I was left at home a lot. Just by myself. I didn't have siblings. And TV got boring, but I always wanted to find something new to fascinate me. And I kind of got hooked up into this world of politics because my nanny, Chris, my cleaning lady or housekeeper, my babysitter, whatever you want to call her, I call her my surrogate mother, loved to watch the McNeil Air News Hour while she did the ironing in the laundry room. And the laundry room was next to a door outside where the dog would be chained up. Lucy, our little schnauzer, beautiful dog. And I'd sit and listen to the McNeil Laird Hour and talk to Chris about it and play with Lucy. Like that was our afternoons. After I got my homework, I would do my homework in the laundry room. I had this little bench I'd sit at and do the laundry or do the homework while she did the laundry and wait for my parents to come home and shit like that. And she'd always have she was a news junkie and I loved her for it because I would ask her questions and she was always very candid with me and very open from her point of view. She even told me, she goes, now I'm a Democrat, but there was a time, she was honest. There was a time when Democrats were not so nice. There were a time when Democrats were the people that wanted to keep other people down. And it wasn't until A, B, C, and D happened that there was kind of a gradual switch, and the Republicans gained a few dollars, and they got the lobbyists. They knew how to organize, and they got themselves together. So now you have kind of a reversal. It's the Democrats that want, universal health care, Bernie Sanders or whatnot, or whatever. It's the Republicans that kind of want to keep the businesses up there, Elon and them. And it's no secret. I'm not spouting no jive. I'm telling you how it is. And it fascinated me. I would watch C-SPAN. And then sometimes C-SPAN would show fucking videos or show from other countries' parliaments. These people would fight. I saw one dude, I don't remember, was it Israel or something? Where they got up and I don't know why I'm fucking wearing this thing. Anyway, I need to hear the outro. These guys would fucking fight in Parliament. Like they started swinging over stuff. I'm like, is this law you're trying to pass so passionate that you're going to beat the shit out of this guy? And I loved it. But it also gave me a sense that we live in America and that doesn't happen here. Like we're not going to get into a fist fight in Congress because A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever the bill says. We have a very structured way of life. Schoolhouse Rock told me how a bill becomes a law. And it was all very structured. And it was all very clean and very orderly. And I respect that. And I'm like, this is the coolest shit. Now, do I ever want to run for state office? Fuck no. Do I ever want to run for president? Shit. No. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't have the need to be that responsible for that many people. It just ain't going to fucking happen. But for the guys that do, fucking great. Go for it. But do me a favor. Be fucking honest. Because I know politicians have lied from day one. But it just seems that it's like, whether it's, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, or I don't know Jeffrey Epstein, or I don't know what these emails are about, huh? Or, we're not sending any money to Iran. It's just not happening, right, Jack? Whatever it is, they're all fucking lying all the time. Why can't you tell us the truth? We would respect you and want to vote you in more if you were like, yeah, we sent money to Iran. Do you understand how this works? It's tit for tat. Now, I don't want to know that there's a CIA black site selling coke in Colombia to fuel black, operations. You don't have to tell us all that. You don't have to go that far. But be fucking honest with the stuff that comes out, at least in the Iran Contra. They lied through their fucking teeth. Oliver North lied. And now it's a footnote in history yeah, he lied. It was funny. What are you going to do? They made memes of him on Saturday Night Live back in the day. He was a butt of jokes in newspaper or whatever. Or Bill Clinton with the blowjobs or whatever. You know what I mean? The stained dress became a meme. And I'm sure all this Donald Trump stuff or the Joe Biden or the Obama stuff is all going to become a meme. But do you remember when things weren't always politicized? I remember it was, I don't have it written down, but it was the date. It was the day that Richie Valens died. Right? And what was his name? Oh, fuck. From the Ozzy and Harriet show, Ricky Nelson died, some shit. If that happened today, and all of the news was like, oh, mega superstar dies, or when Elvis died on the tour, it was in the news. Today, if Elvis died, they're going to be like, we need to sue the opioid makers on they're lobbying for this and that because they killed Elvis, and it's going to be a political nightmare that has to go to a trial in Congress because you've got to get clicks and likes and views because we're in this social media age. You see how this is all connected? It's all moving into this new age of just like I don't know. If we don't have fear and anger, we have nothing. And the problem is that while I'm on these social media fucking websites watching, oh, today Congress has a meltdown because they exposed this about Trump. It was news from 3 years ago that we all knew about, and then it went on to the next news cycle we all forgot about. Why do you need to remind us? It's already been and gone. We get it. No, you want to fucking click. You want to like. You want to subscribe. By the way, guys, like, subscribe, follow. It means a lot to the show. In fact, you know what? There you go. You want likes. You want follows. You want subscriptions. You want to be famous. Me, I'll be honest with you. I just want the word out. I just want to tell the people how I feel. And if you listen to it, great. If you don't, I give a shit. I'm not here to politicize anything one way or the other. I'm tired of the hate. I'm tired of hating. I'm tired of being mad every time I hear somebody talk about this or that, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, because what was the old joke? You know, a vegan, a CrossFitter, and a vapor walk into a bar. Which one is going to tell you about their life first? Well, now it's a MAGA or a lefty walk into a bar. Which one's going to tell you about their ideals first and what they hate about the other side? God fucking damn it. Can we be friends? Look, GB's in the chat here. GB, yesterday, I'm talking directly to you, man. Yesterday, we played Helldivers. A couple hours. And I asked you a few questions because, you know, I'm kind of liberal. You're kind of Republican. We're both more centrists, you know, that we don't give a fuck. But I asked you some questions like, explain to me why the right does A, B, C, or D. And through the debate, through the conversation, yeah, he got a little worked up, but so did I. And who gives a shit? Because at the end, he's still my bro. I still love you to death. We're still friends. I'm going to play Helldivers with him this week sometime. We're going to talk on the phone about his dad or my stupid parents or what's going on in the fucking what. Who gives a shit? He's my bro. I don't care what his political affiliation is. I don't care what side of the fucking law he's on. I love him. He loves me. And yes, vigorous discussion is fun. It gets the blood pumping a little bit, but it also reminds me why he's my friend. If I was surrounded by people in a bubble that were just like me, would I ever grow? When you stop learning, you stop living. I learned a lot from him yesterday. He actually told me some stuff, and I'm pretty well informed. I'm on this motherfucker all the time. Oh, shit, it's 9:50. Have we been ranting for, oh, Jesus Christ. I really went at it today. I lost track of time. But we just hate each other so much now. Why? Do we really have to send the National Guard to Portland? Do we? Do you hate the people there so much? Did we really have to vote to impeach Trump? Impeach Trump? Do you really hate him that much? Some of his policies aren't great, but neither were Biden's. There's Hunter Biden's laptop. I don't know what that's about. I'm not the conspiracy guy, but there's also Trump's Epstein list. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're all fucked. Maybe every one of these things is true. Maybe it is. But I don't care, guys. I just want to be your fucking friend. I don't want to argue with you at this. I don't want you to not come to my house because I voted for one way and you voted the other. Why? Is this how we live now? Because it's all for fucking clicks. It's all for likes. It's all to get me feeling the way I'm feeling right now, which is mad. So that I go on to the next video to find a kitten video that makes me happy. So I give them a fucking like. Oh, you like this cat video? Like, follow, subscribe so I can make more. But it's the world we live in. And if it's doing this to me, somebody who's 48 and aware of what's going on, I like to think, because I see what's happening. I'm not blind to it. I don't blindly click all night. I do doom scroll at 1:30 in the morning when I can't sleep. What's it doing to my kids? What are they going to feel about the world when they're my age? And how are their children going to be? What's the next thing for their kids? As Neil Howe said, there's eras. What's the next era? When are you not going to remember the 90s and what happened then? And you're moved on to this next. Maybe they're plugging shit in their heads, you know, to play a video game or wearing, you know, Ready Player One stuff or Sword Art Online. You nerds know what I'm talking about. Who knows what it's going to be? But will there be hate there too? We got to move. I don't want to be the guy. We have to move past the hate. You got to hate stuff. When you hate stuff, you feel like standing up for yourself. You're standing up for values and principles and things that you care about. If you hate it, you care about it. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Hate is a strong emotion and it has to be in our lives. We have to hate. We got to let this shit out. But you got to watch the limits of where you let it out, man. You can't let it out towards your fellow fucking friend. My neighbor next door, sweetest lady in the world, has a Trump sign in her garage. She gave my kids $100 to feed her fucking cats while she was on vacation. She's the nicest lady. And when she comes to the door, I don't like people coming to my door, so I'm like, somebody's at the door. But, you know, we're friendly. I don't criticize her choices, and I don't think she criticizes mine. Sometimes you see I get the window open. Sometimes I don't. I'm sure she can hear me casting this thing this morning. I'm sure she can hear every fucking word I'm saying. She goes out and feeds her cats and does her thing. But she still treats my children like gems. She treats me like a human being. And I do the same back to her. And when there's a MAGA lover in my restaurants or somebody who thinks that Kamala Harris is the next, coming of God, both of them are going to get the same tasty food. And they're both going to get my good customer service because that's what it's about. It's about loving your friends. It's about making new friends and looking past the flaws. The flaws are what make them beautiful. Frankie, I love you, bro. You're the dude. And we have such conflicting interests and thoughts sometimes. And that's what enriches my life. And I hope I enrich yours. And I hope, guys, that Anson in the Morning has enriched a little bit of your lives. You know what I hate. You know what I don't like. And look at this fucking list of all this shit. Look, I wrote this out last night. It's crazy. Problem is I really don't hate a lot of stuff. I hate what the country's becoming. I hate what we're becoming as a people. I hate that we love to hate. And with that, guys, this has been Anson in the Morning. You got to like, follow, subscribe. Don't forget, we've got, where's it at right here? Look at this. We got other amazing PNS Studio content at the PNS Studio, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us anywhere. TikTok, I think we got some TikToks going. Thanks, guys, for listening to me rant about this stuff. I love you. So you heard me. You're going to hear me in next week. We're going to talk about kitties or something. I don't know. Like maybe that's what we'll do. I'll talk about all the pets I've had through my life. So I've had some really, really fucking amazing pets and a few stories about it. So guys, this has been Anson in the Morning. I love you guys. And until next time, I will see you next